So a client just sent this DM review in recently, and I actually have not taken a chance to uh, review it. And so I'm going to do this review uh, of what I'm spotting based off of the teachings. Now, this is a client that's worked for me or with me, for me, and in all different aspects. Very, very experienced and a very true master. The difference between this client and clients that I've worked with in the past that don't quite get the same results, it's just the consistency in learning. And so this client has closed up to $50,000 deals via DM, and this is an $11,000 close in DM that I think is worth a video breakdown to show you what he's doing, some of the teachings that we're using, and how this whole thing kind of goes. So it starts with a really good two-step post. So the two-step is a free course, and it's a what he does to close 70 to 90% consistently training. So like just a really the two-step itself is really good because it showcases results, and it's a very clear what you're gonna get um, in terms of an outcome. So sends it over, and what he does is he just sends it. He doesn't ask anything else, right? So he gets a thanks, bro. This gives you kind of the ability to get them into the course, but also kind of you can read their tone a little bit. Whoops. You can read their. Oh my gosh. All right, it's a long one. You can read their tone a little bit. So, thanks, bro! Exclamation point. So very excited. Hey, hey, has his name. We're able to go through any of those trainings I sent over. Totally cool. If not, so this is a little thing I teach. These little brackets here in parentheses, it's any additional information you can add in. So if you need to add something, you can put it in these parentheses, and helps you give additional information. So I'm going to go through this, went through it, and I liked what I got. So he uses a ton of humor in his DM conversations. Unbelievable. Here's he, or hearsay, or whatever. Ye shall be flogged for your impudence. LOL. How's the paying off debt going? So always giving humor, and it just makes the conversations flow so much better if you have a personality. So worked well. He gets the financial qualifications so good, like right here, because they had talked previously about debt, and he paid it off, and then he basically gets the financial qualification way early on in a way that's not obvious. So he gets it it's such a nice, clean DM. Uh, it lowers his guard with a really good, like some humor, and then once the guard's lowered, he just goes straight into the financial qualification. Gone back since you reminded me. Sorry, going through more. I really liked your presentation about removing limiting beliefs. So what this is called is an indicator. So he's saying, I really like how you said this, and I like this, and I like this, and this is why having all your YouTube videos and your posts and your content in a two-step format where you give it away like who wants it helps so much, because you kind of force feed these beliefs into your market. And this guy basically has been going through his stuff, and then it gives you all this context to work with, so then you can just pull them through the process. So always, you really want to be giving stuff away online. If you're not doing two-step posts, you're losing out on a lot of leads. So I've actually gone back since you reminded me and started going through more. I really liked your presentation about removing. I'm going to go through delusional confidence. Cool. He goes, that's a win. Everything is moving. Really good here. Where he goes, man, I got to get better at my zooming in. Really good here. So whenever somebody says they like something that you've done or a piece of content that you have, and this is why you give away the content, you ask, what did you like about it? So good. If they say, hey, I really like that, really, what did you like about it? They're going to start explaining to you why they like you, why they like your business, why you're the one for them. And it's just such a good question. What you like about it? And it's just real smooth. He just kind of adds it in there. What do you like about it? He goes, it's been a while since I've got in my comfort zone, since I've gotten consistent at closing, but felt some self-doubt creeping. So he's telling him, basically, he's connecting the dots between why he got this piece of content, right? And what he's applying it to. So he's like, well, I have some doubt. Boom. And that's why I got your 2-step post. And then they can actually have a conversation. Now the problem pops right out. I hear you. What kind of self doubts? So he gives him an acknowledgement. Biggest thing, man. See, these are the little details that make this thing really, really good. Is the acknowledgments. You got to have an acknowledgement. You got to acknowledge. So many people that are selling, they don't even acknowledge in their DM conversations. They go, what kind of self doubts? They don't even say got it. They don't even say I understand. They don't acknowledge. So he goes, I hear you. What kind of self doubts? So these are really good probing questions. Notice also all the questions are open ended. How is the paying the debt off going? What do you like about it? What kind of self doubts? What specific thoughts, beliefs pop up? They're open ended. They're not yes or no questions. Where you stall out on conversations is, do you have limiting beliefs? Do you have a self doubt? Do you like my program? Do you like the video? And it's yes, no, yes, no, and then you have nothing to work with. So the questions you ask in the beginning, make them all open ended, and you'll just get you'll just get a nice plethora of data that you can work with. So he goes, what kind of self-doubt? It's just related towards starting this business. I'm very confident in my setting and closing skills, but learning ads and building managing teams is new to me. So he's got this. So here's the urgency. He's about to start a business, and the self-doubts are coming up. He's just got to the point where he's paid off debt. We have the financial qualification, and now is the time. And he's getting it all way early on. Now, if he didn't have any of this information, this would be the issue that gets in the way between him and actually closing the deal. The urgency wouldn't be there, the financial qualifications wouldn't be there, all that wouldn't be there. Now, the question I get a lot is, like, how can I just skip the sales calls and then just go straight into closing deals in the DMs? Has nothing to do with if it's a call or if it's a DM. The reason why you would take a call is because it's easier to understand somebody, and there's less room for miscommunication, and they're kind of trapped on the call and they have to talk to you. But if you're really good at your questions, if you're really good at the questions that you're asking, you don't need to trap anyone on anything. The questions hold the conversation together like glue, and they stick with the conversation, and they don't go ghosting on you and stuff. So this is really good because it's free flow communication. The communication is like they're really tight, and these two people have never met each other before. They've never even met each other in person, so, or on Zoom or anything. So this guy ended up buying from somebody he's never met. So just related towards starting this business. So what specific? So now once he gets the general problem, he just stops acknowledging and he just goes spearing out like the specifics. So one of the issues, okay, there's a lot of issues that people have with their communication, but the biggest one is not getting any specific details about the issue, because it's not about the details that you need, but it's about the prospect having specifics. So this is a mindset offer. So mindset offers are very vague and wishy-washy in general, right? And the problem feels wishy-washy in general. So something like this, the more specific and data-driven you can get with it, the more the problem becomes very real in that person's mind. And the more real that problem is, the more it's a big fat brick wall in between them and where they want to be. The reason why nobody can sell mindset, nobody can really sell these kind of generalized type offers, is because they don't know what questions to ask to make that person realize that this is an $11,000 problem, not just like a Tony Robbins seminar, and you just go, do whatever you want. So this isn't like a go jump up and down and motivate yourself. No, there's a very specific anatomy of the issue, and he's getting it right here with this question. What specific thoughts and beliefs pop up? The fear that I might not be able to figure out the marketing to get a client to work with, or getting a client and not being able to get the exceptional results. Gotcha. Is there anything else that pops up? This is a good one here too, is as soon as you open the door, you just say anything else. What else? What else? What else? What else? And you pull and pull and pull and pull. Nothing that comes to mind. So he pretty much got it. He got the main thing. So this is what I call getting the right item. You get it, you hold it, and then that's what you focus on for the entire sales conversation. You can't be zigzagging around. Oh, there's all these other issues and this and that, and then you get lost. Grab the one problem that's the stable data point, and then you focus the entire conversation on that. And you ask about that. You ask about the problem. So actually, that someone might not trust me to work with them. I haven't had any clients or track record yet. Thank you. Thank you. He thanks him. That's a good acknowledgement. He thanks him for telling. Thank you. Have you seen the limiting beliefs training I did? No, I did not. Well, I don't think I have. Would love to, though. You telling me about this, bro? I'll straight up deny it. Movie reference. Thank you, brother. Check this out tomorrow morning. Interesting. So what he does, so here, I wouldn't have actually dropped another two-step, but whatever, it worked. He drops it. He gives him another piece of content. What I would have done is just kept going, but because this kind of stalled out the conversation, what he does is he goes up back through the conversation and he looks for another kind of handhold, another thing that he could grab onto and ask about. So he goes to the comfort zone. He goes, how long ago were you last outside of your comfort zone? 8 or 9 months ago. Specifically in terms of comfort zone in any regard, Jim probably doesn't count. I think you meant to send this before. I moved in with my girlfriend recently, which was a big change, but not uncomfortable. I was in a bad financial position a few months ago. So he's starting to get some duration of it, which is good. Gets you some more detail. Do you believe that you have to get out of your comfort zone to grow? So now what he's doing is he's actually getting a belief. He's pulling out beliefs. Beliefs are the thing that'll actually make or break the sale. So this is so good right here. He asks a yes or no question. Do you believe you have to get outside of your comfort zone? Because he will have to get outside of his comfort zone in this DM conversation to grow, because he will have to drop 11K. Not necessarily. I think if you have to be willing to do new things and challenge yourself, but I believe it's possible to do while feeling comfortable too. So if you go to the gym and your workout is comfortable, are you really giving everything you have? So here's an analogy reframe, because this guy actually is a gym junkie, right? So definitely not everything you have. No. How is life any different? Boom. So one way to handle beliefs is to actually find something that they relate to and then find the differentiator. So do you believe this? Okay. Why not? How is this any different? Right? So then if you went to the gym and you were comfortable the whole time, would you grow? No. How is life any different? So tell me. Feel free. You don't got to argue with them. You just tell me. You tell me. Because if it's a limiting belief, it's a wrong belief, they will stumble. They will. So you got to know the difference between like a real limiting belief that's caused by fear and a belief that's actually true and valid. Being in your comfort zone all day is not true and valid. I suppose not. That's a good point. See? So in your opinion then, do we accept that we will feel discomfort when we are expanding, knowing that it's inevitable? Or do we push through it? Or is it possible? So I don't know what he says next, but this is a trap. So you got to know the difference between a trap, because he starts asking questions, because what he could say is, yes, you have to be outside of your comfort zone. He goes, thanks, I'll do that, and I'll move on. And then he says, okay, I'll just go be uncomfortable. So it is, you got to be careful of that, because if he believes that, right, he has to believe that there's something in the way blocking him that he has to get rid of. So he goes, both, it's an operating basis. One, get out of your comfort zone daily at a higher degree. Comfort zone happens because when you start moving in a direction, the universe gives you resistance, so there's a game. But if you're not moving, it's quite comfortable. Um, so he's conversing, as I resonate with that a ton. That's exactly how the last few months have been. Very comfortable. It got very boring. And you think that, okay, good. So beautiful. So there has to be a wall in the way with this guy. So when you think that your operating basis will magically change because you decided to start an agency, it didn't the other 2 to 3 times you got it. Now he can call him out on some stuff because he has some leverage from the conversation. No, definitely not. But I'm also not sure about what my operating basis I should intend to change. So now he doesn't know. So doubt comes in. Doubt is where you want it. Like, doubt is the belief that you got to get them to where I can't do this on my own and I don't know what the fuck's going on. Help me. That's perfect sequence. Led to new growth, but you are saying there is some pattern here that it would serve me to break. What do you think? So good. So anytime somebody's like, what do you think? Like, so, but you are saying there is some pattern here that it would serve me to break. Question mark. And then he goes, what do you think? Rather, do you think there is some pattern here that it would serve you to break? I want to avoid becoming complacent and to stop setting new goals for myself again. And perhaps I prioritize comfort too much. So this is the ball in your court method. When you say perhaps, is it true or not true? So cool. So people, so prospects will actually give you vague terminology like perhaps and maybe and potentially. Um, I don't know. So this is good because you're whittling down these vague answers down to a yes or no binary system here. So the more you can get the guy to just be like, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, the better, because then it's just he can't back out on it. So if he would have left it at perhaps, maybe, then you would have made the offer. Then he goes, I don't know if that's true. But so what you're actually doing is you're directing his mind to find what's actually true data. Yes data or no data. So he goes, perhaps, is it true or not true? Yes or no, this or that. You're trying to get very specific, clear answers. Yeah, for sure. True for sure. What I don't know yet is if it's still a pattern, if my recent experience with it has moved me past the way of thinking. Well, how many times in your life did you feel like you really moved past something, then it popped up in some other form? More times than I can count. I see your point. LOL. I can keep asking questions like this all day. My job is to spiritually press you to your limits. Fuck, that's good. My job, this is a good frame. My job is to push you. Do you want me to push you? That's such a good frame, because most people they're lacking any leadership, and if you just like, what I usually do is I ask permission. Look, my job is to hold you accountable. Do you want that? I'm not going to do it if you don't want it. Okay, cool. So my job is to push you. You think a big game is starting an agency, but how small a game that is. You got any other patterns or beliefs or things you want to talk about? This is good. What else? Keep bringing it up. So he's actually, what he's doing here is he's checking boxes. He's checked the doubt box. He's checked the I can't do it on my own. He's checking the urgency box. He checked the money box. So basically, there's a series of beliefs you got to shift. It could be a small. I got to get this done in the next 8 minutes. So is this going to be another one of those times? Comfort zone, watching your trainings. Okay, so here's another belief that could come up is I'll just use your current content. Sometimes by giving away a lot of content, it cannibalizes your current offers if you do it wrong, which is why I recommend getting some consulting on this, because this isn't just something that happens you don't just close 11K deals on accident. You have a very, very methodical content machine going, and the content leads them to believing that they need the bigger thing. That's what it is. And if you do it wrong, you run the risk of them. I'm just going to go through more of your content. So what he does here, and he just kind of double checks it. So this client is actually really good at just tying every little piece down and just having so many of the details worked out to the point where his goddamn calls are 2 hours long. But he checks every box, which is why his close rate is upwards of 90%. So this is going to be another one of those times you go back into your comfort zone, watching trainings and doing things the same way you've always done them. And then he gives them a little like buffer. I'm not roasting your goals. I'm roasting your operating basis. So good. Like he makes sure he feels that he's not being like, you know, belittled, but also is showing him that he keeps giving him moral authority frame. This is my moral obligation to help you. And you'll never break trust with somebody this way. So so he basically says, okay, he's handling the belief of I'm just going to go watch more of your trainings. So I agree. So he's getting agreement. So he goes, I need some reflection. That's not that's a red flag on what should change in my thinking. I was going to use training to help me understand what is limiting me. Charge clearing tools, blah 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 blah. Is there anything else beyond that you would do? How long have you been using the tools? I haven't used them in quite a while. Block out time. He goes, look, becoming neutral is becoming neutered. When you balance out an equation, you're left with zero. You're left with nothing. Thing is, so he gives him. So what he does here, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but he gives him. So his belief is, I need to be neutral to everything. So he just explains it. So something you can do if like it's going on too long and you're not quite getting the answers from somebody that you want is you coach them, tell them, here's what's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. What I would have done differently is, do you agree? So you explain it and then you say, do you agree? And then they say, yes, I agree. Why do you agree? And then you can shift the belief that way. He already says it. I'm very intrigued. What's the difference in your approach? All this stuff in a program. All right. So they give some voice notes. Not going to go through that, but this is the main thing: is those beliefs. Let's see here. He gives a Matrix quote. I don't know what I don't know. So cool. He's getting all the right beliefs. So then he pitches him. So I wanted to get to the pitch. And the income and success are the justification for the investment. We dig. So he goes, I customize the structure of payments to make sure that you won't be all fucked up financially. So we need to figure out what's doable now, and then you can pay more. That's good. That's a good frame for like payment. He's basically just helping him figure out the finances first before he pitches. This is something this client does a lot. Is he actually helps you figure out the payment first. He has you commit first, which I really like. He starts giving him, this month I could do this month I could do that. What's the total investment amount? Well, before I make my recommendation, everyone's journey in this program is different. When things start getting good, sometimes we poke around for a while until we find the thing to work on. Sometimes it's obvious. Can't promise earth-shattering breakthroughs. Don't want to make it convenient surprises. So, and the intention has to be 100% to win. So what he's doing is he's framing that you're not going to be 99%, because we're actually getting into the risky territory when we start talking about finances. So this guy actually says, I'm going to pay you right now. And then he goes, hold on a second, stop it. So it's really, man, you can get real good at sales when you can just look at money right in front of you and not jump on it. Just no, not yet. Because you're basically creating nice, even keeled resistance, and it's building way more trust. And he's basically saying, well, I need one more belief out of you. And the belief is, I need you to 100% commit. Can you do that? Uh, Yep, 100% to win. So he goes, the program is $11,273 for the year. We could split it 5K for 3 months, $697 a month after that. Gives him everything he needs to know, and then one thing he does is he gives this guy certainty by telling him exactly what's gonna be next. And this is why I like chat closing too, is holy shit. Like you can just you can read it. Like onboarding is investment, agreement, join Facebook group, here's the series, and it just gives you like, I know what's going to happen, and it's all written. It's not just words on a call. Because I can make that work. Just a quick question before we get started. When are the group coaching calls? He gives them the times. And then what other questions do you have? Then he gives them a link. Yes, sir, best email. And then he just paid. Very, very easy. So notice no objections because he handled the objections early on. So no objections. And it's just, okay, now it's just a matter of logistics. So what it should be is like, if you know what boxes to check, it's just going to be a smooth tie it down into a sale. Okay. So he's got this guy on 11,000 a year, and basically that's everything. Every reason why it happened is the questions that were being asked and the answers. Okay. So he got the right answers. As soon as he got all the right answers, there's nowhere else the guy can go. Think about it. All right. So that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you want help learning how to navigate conversations this effectively, this smoothly, then what we can do is just shoot me a message, just message me chat, and I can help you come up with a process, and I can review your conversations so that you can get to this level of skill. It's called messaging mastery. All right. See you on the next training. Peace.